Good morning, Jeffrey here again. As I said in previous video that I'm gone from home for a few days and I'm kind of going stir crazy. So I brought some of my catalogs and literature along. So I just thought I'd make a little video, show you a little bit of what I have. I have a catalog showing Russell road equipment from the Russell Grader and Manufacturing Company. I believe this book is from 1928, which I believe is the last year Russell was in existence before Caterpillar bought them out. The book starts out with all their road graders, which they were most well known for. Just numerous different styles of road graders and attachments, back sloping attachment. They show different features, what's built into each model. And then they go to the motor patrol graders, and as you can see, the part shown in red is what's supplied with the grader from Russell, which goes on. This would be McCormick Deering tractor. This is one that went on a Caterpillar 2-ton tractor. Here they show it on a Clee-Track. And here they show it on a Fordson. And here they show some of the features with springs for ease and raising and lowering. Here they show adjustable scare fire. And here they show one of the attachments as it comes for the Fordson without the tractor. And here they show a snowplow attachment. It's just kind of interesting to look through all of these. And then they go on to show their elevating scrapers. They always start out with the biggest ones. The biggest graders first, biggest elevating graders. And when we get to crushers, they show the biggest crushers first. And as you can see, these are ground-driven elevating graders. Then we see dump wagons. I remember my old friend Alan talking about dump wagons when he was part of the contracting company known as Young Rudolph and Son, and he was the son. In 1926 they did a highway job near where I grew up. It was Young Rudolph and Son, and Rudolph was Alan's father, who was a big horseman. And I think that's how they got into the road building, because he would, supply horses and mules for road building. Then they'd have road drags for evening out the dirt or gravel roads, and the small horse-drawn wheels scrapers, and the Fresno or buck scrapers. And how would you like to stood behind one of these all day, scraping and working on a road? It just had to be back-breaking work, but it was quicker and got more done than just using a pick and shovel, I'm sure. And then they show road plows, which actually some of these look just about like an agricultural plow. But here's what I wanted to show you. We get to the gravel crushers. because that's what I have as a Russell gravel crusher up at Baraboo. And this is mine is actually older than these. Mine has the same size flywheel on both sides. Mine has lattice work built into some of it here, riveted together, versus large size channel iron. I actually have this feed conveyor for mine. I haven't got it set up, but I do have that feed conveyor. Mine doesn't. They talk about having this boom out here, which can be turned to the side to raise with a block and tackle to raise and lower this conveyor. It can be turned to the feed end with a block and tackle to raise and lower the feed conveyor. Or it can be turned over the jaws to pull out the jaw plates in order to replace them or weld them up. Or it could be spun around. You can't see it here. I'll show it. You can see it on a different picture. It can be spun around and also used to raise and lower the bucket conveyor. Because even at that time they probably would have to take that off occasionally to transport it to get under a bridge or whatever, because I have to take mine off when I've transported it because it's too tall otherwise. And they go in to talk about the two different size flywheels. The smaller one being 36 inches in diameter, and that's where you would put the belt for running it on steam. And the larger one, 50 inches in diameter, and that's where you would put the belt for running it with gas. I'll have to measure. Mine are both the same size on my crusher. I'll have to measure to see if it's 36 inches or if they have some other dimension. And also, when I get up to Baraboo, I'll show it too. These speak of a conveyor belt that moves the gravel out from under the jaw crusher into the bucket conveyor, where mine has a shaker pan that moves the gravel from under the crusher into the bucket conveyor. So I'm certain mine is older than these. Here they show a power unit that can be supplied with it, and hooking it right to the crusher so that when you move the crusher, the power unit comes along with it. And as you see, they keep getting to smaller sizes and smaller sizes. Here they have a plant where it has a hopper. The bucket conveyor feeds it up to a screen above a hopper, and then it recirculates down to the jaw crusher. So that would be a much more, it wouldn't be quite as portable as the other plant. You can get them, you could get them practically in any configuration you could think of. Then they also had double drum drag lines, or the drag line bucket. And this isn't, they call it a drag line here. It isn't a drag line crane. This is just a, I came to know it as a drag scraper for scraping the gravel up into the hopper for the crusher, or for digging out ponds, or just scraping fill out of where it has to be removed from. Here they show a revolving type screen, so you could buy individual components and build what you needed for your needs too. They have individual conveyor parts, rollers, head pulleys, hoppers. Here they show a complete crushing operation with the drag line feeding it, and the truck they're loading into. That's one thing I'd like to do, is get a vintage truck parked underneath my unloading conveyor, and then my operation would be pretty much all period correct. Now here, talking about the Russell Senior Plant number 10, which I think is about the closest to what I have. And you can see their first complete plant was in 1920, and this book should be in 1928, so they didn't build them for a lot of years. Mine, I believe, is earlier than this. And here they speak of a universal type crusher installed in this plant. Because Russell did not build, I believe, did not build a jaw crusher, because I believe Russell did not build the jaw crusher, that it's a universal jaw crusher that was built in Iowa. And mine has it cast into the Flywheels, universal, I believe. I'll show it when I get up to Baraboo. And that the jaw crusher itself was built in Iowa, and Russell built the rest of the plant. And here's an interesting paragraph in the catalog. And I'm going to say is a crusher on tracks that can be moved close to the material to be crushed is really a new idea. It states a hopper with a short conveyor is substituted for the 40-foot loading conveyor, and the whole plant may be hooked up to the shovel and moved along with the shovel on wheels. In such cases, a power plant on trucks is attached to run the crushing plant. A power plant on separate connecting trucks is furnished when so ordered and is especially desirable when loading material with a steam shovel. The entire plant, including the power plant, may be hooked up to the shovel and moved along on wheels with the shovel without any disturbance or break in the work. The power plant consists of a 60 horsepower Waukesha motor mounted on a four-wheeled truck, conventionally hooked up to the crushing plant. So I just wanted to do a little video on the catalog I have for the Russell road equipment. The only Russell equipment I have is the crushing plant. This catalog covers everything that they built at the time. Just a little information on one of the early road building equipment manufacturers, as there were so many different manufacturers at the time, and over time, you know, they each slowly got bought up by bigger companies, down to just a few that we know today. By comparison, just a few. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and maybe I'll do another short video on some of the other equipment I have in literature. Thanks again for watching.